Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, Gregoria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course, the Portugal Club, which you're free to join over at theportugalclub.com, or if you can't be bothered to type all of that in, gmpvip.com is where you need to go. So we'll go and do another one of those Portuguese citizenship test questions. I'm actually not sure what it is today, but I will find out by the time we come to enter it in on the screen there, and you can make your guess. Thank you to everybody who's taking part in that at the moment. A little bit of a hangout this morning. Oh, which dynasty ruled? When's this? Which dynasty ruled during the Age of Discoveries? Excellent question this morning. A little bit more difficult. Not like, oh God, Carl, this is so easy. This one, not so easy. You might have to do a little bit of research. Do your own research. Yeah, thanks to everybody who's popping over there and doing that. Thanks also to Gail and Mills, Debbie and Dazzle, Thea and Teresa, Susie and Rob, and Sarah Davey, who took part last night in sharing their experience of being here in Portugal, the pros and the cons. Do you remember I made an appeal yesterday? Why is this mouse not scrolling here? Am I using the right mouse? Oh, that's awkward. Okay. I hope I'm not stuttering this morning. I mean, no more than usual, by the way. We had a little bit of stutteriness yesterday, and I ran my AVG yesterday to take care of that, but no, still can't. Still don't seem to be able to. I might have to refresh the browser again. Oh my goodness! Difficulty du jour this morning would appear to be not being able to go to me overlays. I can go down this far, but that's not what we want to see. I guess I could delete them all until the one I want arrives in place. That actually, I don't know if I shared that with you before, but that was somebody who cared to share the beauty of Lisbon Airport when there isn't a queue there. Just wanted to share a positive experience. Yes, Feel Good Friday, everybody. How about that? I just wanted to share. Oh, and I can see the fullness of my screen and bits of Portuguese ephemera, corks, mainly booze, isn't it? Olive oil, a broken cockerel. Anyway, just wanted to share a positive experience since there's a lot of horror stories on here. On here being social media. We arrived at 11 for our 13:30 flight. That's wise. Had zero weight insecurity. Photo below show how we were the only ones there. It was quite apocalyptic, and only a 10-minute wait at the second gates for passport control. We couldn't believe it after all the negative posts. Yeah, and getting there an hour and a half, 2.5 hours early. I appreciate this might be a rare occurrence, but I wanted to share that not all experiences are bad. And like any airport, the queue wait times clearly fluctuate. They have this week. As long as you give yourself sufficient time, then it should be absolutely fine. Yes, well said. And of course, that is true. But you just don't know. That's the problem. You don't know if you're going to be waiting there or not. But thank you to the person who decided to share that on social media. It's nice, isn't it, when people think, "Oh, okay, something good's happening." I think I'll share that with everybody. Oh, things I want to share this morning. Quite a nice morning of memery. I think today, some things that have grabbed my attention and haven't yet had the chance to share with you on the screen. Oh yes, and this. Did I finish thanking everybody who took part in that last night? Oh yes, I couldn't get to it, could I? Yeah. So we found the households, 5 households, and thank you very much. Yeah, Gail and Mills, Debbie and Dazzle, Thea and Teresa, Susie and Rob, and Sarah, all taking part in talking about their experience, the pros and the cons. So much so that we're going to have to do a part 2. Ran out of time, basically. Very interesting talking to people about their experiences. The big shocker was Debbie saying she didn't like Portuguese food. And in the Dream Team session, I did ask our Portuguese correspondents if they could recommend something to help Debbie maybe enjoy a little bit more Portuguese food and overcome her prejudice of the aforementioned. But Portuguesa cozida and razor clam rice, probably not the best suggestions. And Nunu said, how about going to a McDonald's in Lisbon, which she also wasn't especially happy about, I have to say. Okay. What I wanted to share with you also this morning was this. I saw this morning on social media. It's really not my thing, but good morning to all who celebrate. Isn't that brilliant? And I do speak to people and I say to them, and I was thinking the banner on the YouTube channel needs to be something like, um, live every weekday morning between 8 and 9 in Portugal, talking about life in Portugal, loving life in Portugal from 8 in the morning every weekday morning. Because I still meet people who say, "Do you still do your YouTube thing?" Or when are you on? Or when I tell them, "Oh, that's too early. That's too early." I mean, it only needs to be on in the background. You don't have to sit and give your full attention to this, do you? Just the occasional thing that I put on the screen, like this, that you might like to see. And that was my last fashion tip: the fanny pack, the bum bag in various skin tones to stop people wanting to take your stuff from you. If you find yourself, no pickpocket's going to want to go anywhere near that. Latest fashion, maybe merchandise in the era of the increasing popularity of the tinfoil hat. Someone's gone to town on this and made some beautiful tinfoil hats. I don't know if this is just a hobby and made for personal use, or this is a new conspiracy theory merch range. Tinfoil hat ideas from Nick Trowick here, or Trawick. I suspect in America they would be Trawick, as in Dionne Warwick. In the UK, they would be Nick Trowick or Trowick. Tinfoil hat ideas, because things are still getting more weird. A range, nearly one for every day of the week. Maybe they have others, but those are beautiful, aren't they? A kind of sailor's cap, hussar's hat, a beanie. Would that be a beanie? The main one there, and a chef's tinfoil hat. One for every occasion. Excellent. And if tinfoil hats are not your thing, and you're looking for other ways to distract um, and medicate yourself, perhaps, and with all that's going on in the world, here's a little bit of a vocabulary test for you. That one on the right there looks a bit rude, doesn't it? Tinhas razão, mea culpa. There's your Portuguese language lesson. I'll stick these on the thread of words and phrases at the Portugal Club, so you can go back and peruse those and maybe use Google Translate the camera. Fiz merda! As well there. Thank you also, T-Duck, this morning. I'll come to your comments and your good mornings in just a moment. Thanks, T-Duck, for this one this morning. And it connects very nicely with something else I wanted to share with you today. 4,000 years later, and we're back to the same language. Why is it, I wonder? Hieroglyphics were thought to be I mean, we assume, don't we? We assume a lot of things when we create a picture of history. And we might assume that Egyptian hieroglyphics were used for Egyptians to communicate with each other. It might have been something completely different. We've no idea, really, have we? I mean, there are some old people in this community, but none that old, it has to be said. And here we are back 4,000 years later, allegedly. Let's go with it that it was 4,000 years. And we have a range of emojis at our disposal. Why do we like emojis so much? Is it because we feel like we haven't got enough time to take the time to say, "I really enjoyed your hieroglyphics meme"? Maybe because you can't spell hieroglyphics. There's all sorts of reasons for just shortcutting to memes in this lazy age of ours. Actually, on that note, I do keep meming to record a spoof WhatsApp message. Maybe I'll do it now. How do you feel about receiving? Okay, so on the one hand, a little bit of a talking point this morning. How do you feel about the shorthanding? Do you feel shortchanged by the shorthand of emojis? For example, here's an example here. Thank you very much. Also on the call last night on the Expats Portugal webinar and then the Dream Team thereafter. James made a funny a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him to repeat it because I couldn't remember exactly the acronym that he came up with. IMA equals actually impossible to make appointments, and a range of emojis for that, you see. 2, 4, 6, 8 there, 8 emojis, and you only get, I think, a few to choose from unless you load a pack of them on to Zoom. That's where we're at, isn't it? It's quick. It's quick and effective communication. But are we robbing ourselves as well by just using emojis? I wonder. I guess there's good and bad to everything, isn't there? The upside is it's nice and quick and fun. The downside might be that we are rather shortchanging ourselves. Now, on this other note, then, what do you think of WhatsApp audio messages? Oh, Coach Turner joining us at 8:30 from Madeira. He's in Madeira at the moment. He came to see us here in San Martino de Porto recently. And he's found the most beautiful. Oh, might need a link. Of course. No worries. It's ages yet until you join us, coach. There you go. Do you know what? I'm actually going to use a laughter emoji. You see, in this instance, it's very good. I can't just get out a pen and paper and write to him and pop down the post office and send him a letter to Madeira because he's going to be on in 20 minutes. So there are times when it's great, but there are also times when I think we might feel a little bit shortchanged. The other thing is this audio message. Now, these are the sort of audio messages I don't like to receive. So I'm going to simulate one for you here. I'll send it to myself so that or I could send it to somebody in this community. I'll send it to myself so as not to cause iration and irritation. I could just hear a funny noise in the background. So, okay, I'm about to start a WhatsApp voice recording. First thing you'll notice when people are sending you a WhatsApp voice recording is they're like, sorry. Yeah. Oh, am I recording? Yeah, I'm recording. Sorry to send you a voice note. I'm just a bit busy at the moment. So I just thought it'd be easier to record you a message rather than type it all in with my chubby fingers. You get typos and stuff like that. Anyway, I thought I'd drop you a line. How you doing, by the way? I hope everything's okay with you. Hold on a minute. Just have a sip of my tea and my drink. Lots of eating noises on the audio message as well. Quick bite of the sandwich. Right. Yeah. Just see you later. I'll see you later anyway, so I can probably tell you all of this then. And what was it I wanted to tell you? Why am I leaving you this voice note message again? I can't actually remember. Anyway, maybe I'll remember later, and I'll ring you again, or send you a message again, or just a bunch of emojis. But I'm seeing you tonight anyway. So actually, just ignore this voice note. Okay, mate. Yeah, have a great. And I think no. I can't remember. All right, ciao. See you. Bye. And you have just wasted how long? I think that was over a minute of me blathering on there. Please don't send me messages like that. If you're gonna send me a podcast, publish it on iTunes or on Spreaker like I do. Don't send these 1 minute, 2 minute. Some of the messages Mrs. M receives from friends, they go on and on and on. I'm in the car sat next to. Is that still the same message? Yes, it is. Anyway. How do you feel about receiving WhatsApp audio messages? Good morning to you. Oh, wow, Bobby O'Reilly's in Dubai. Good morning to you, Bobby. Sorry, Bobby, if I've ever sent you one of those sorts of messages. It's possible. And you, T-Duck, as well. Bon dia, Miguel. To Owen. I've started a little bit low down in the comments. Let's go back. Bon dia, Alegria Gumpers from T-Duck. That was at 7:43 this morning. Well, I'm still eating me toast and Marmite. Happy Friday. Yuri Gagarin was the first human in space on a Friday. That wasn't exactly a feel-good Friday. That was a feel weightless Friday, wasn't it? Apollo 11 landed on the moon on a Friday, and Chevy introduced the first woody station wagon. Who doesn't like a woody station wagon first thing on a Friday morning? The woody station wagon, was that when most cars were still made of wood? I don't know, or adorned with some wood detail there. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock were both released on a Friday. A 1 in 7 chance here, and I was born on a Friday. Although, actually, when you deep dive into the statistics of whether it is 1 in 7, you see some records were probably only released on a weekday. So there's 1 in 5 chance possibly there. Or they were more likely to be released on the day before the charts came out and people could go around all the chart shops and buy all the singles to pump them up into a higher position in the charts. And congratulations, Born on Friday's child is full of something or other. Feliz Sexta-feira para todos. And like a nice Friday roundup there for a Feel Good Friday. Cheers, T-Duck. You're not finished yet, though. Today is also a Friday. Whoa! I've reached for the tinfoil hat. That is so spooky. All of that stuff about Fridays, and it happens to be a Friday as well. I am getting a little concerned now. Thank you very much, T-Duck. Gemini, you were saying you didn't get again, this is prompting me to change the banner on the YouTube, you were saying you didn't get a prompt to say that the show was on. The show is on every morning, from 8 in the morning, every weekday morning, I should say. I guess if somebody goes on a Saturday morning, see, he said he was on every morning. He's not, obviously not. Every weekday morning, the Good Morning Portugal show from 8 till 9. Good morning to you, Mike, as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. Coach is showing us a paradisical, is that the right adjective? He's found that a heavenly celestial running track in the paradise that is Madeira. Quite amazing. A little bit of video to share with you about that. He went to see somebody win a running race. Hola, bon dia, Malta. Happy 83rd to dear old dad, to Mike. Happy birthday, parabéns to you, Mike. My dad was called Mike as well, and my stepdad. Mike's then happy birthday, 83rd birthday to Mike and Dero's dad. Hope you're having a great time. Are you over here at the moment, Mike? And see WhatsApp. I think we might have a photo, excuse me, of Mike as well. Well done, James. I dropped James Holly, the old guy in Europe, a message. 71, moving from hatred to celebration in Portugal. Well, thank goodness for that. That's the new YouTube video from James, which has dropped this morning. I sent him a message to say how lovely it was to meet Hank and Connie for the first time after, 4 or 5 years of kind of knowing them online. It was great to meet them at the meetup last weekend. And yes, I believe we do have a nice photo of Andero, mum and dad, and Mrs. Andera as well. Can you wish Dad Mike a happy 83rd birthday today? It'd be my pleasure on the show today. Mum and Dad are over with us at the moment, and this is us at the Lighthouse at Barra Beach in Aveiro yesterday, celebrating with a big Chinese buffet. That's today, birthday lunch. Birthday boy goes free, of course. Pushing the boat out then, Andero. And to the staff say, hold on a minute, how many birthdays has he had this year? But happy birthday to you, Mike. I see you're being spoiled by Andero. And here is the picture of the wonderful lighthouse, of course, at Barra. Sorry, Mike, I'm covering up your face right there. Let me just hide that message. There you are, all of you. Isn't that lovely? Have a beautiful day today here in Portugal. Fantastic. And what a delight to be able to share that with you and share it with the world here on Good Morning Portugal. Where were we in the comments? Birthday celebrations. Always impossible to make appointments. There you go. That's Ima. Morning to you then, Gemini. To Mike, to Andero. You're not stuttering and the audio sounds great. So that's a plus. Wow. I mean, that should just be basic and standard, right? But you just never know with the Good Morning Portugal show. Bom dia todos from a very wet Madeira. Oh, a moist Madeira. See you. Soggy wood. Literally there. Madeira meaning wood, of course. Has that ever occurred to you? He's on the island of wood right now. See you in 30 minutes or so. See you then. The House of Avige. Portugal during the Age of Discoveries from 1380. Steady on there, Adrian. We haven't even posted it yet. 1385 to 1580. We don't have to pay attention. Back to making cat memes. I just like to maybe toy with you a little. Say you don't have to watch, and then put something on the screen. And then no, I don't want to see that. The hairy bum bag, as it were. You can still listen. Just put your phone on the table, volume up, and it's Good Morning Portugal. That's the way to do it, Gemini. Absolutely. Can we have a jingle from you to say that? Any jingles, actually? If you've got a jingle that you'd like to record this morning, Owen's done that. He's here with a happy Friday, folks. He's one of our long time jingle makers, along with the production skills of T-Duck. If you want to just record a little message that I can play from time to time, you're listening to the Good Morning Portugal show. Send it to me on 913-590-303. Phone, I always watch on a big screen. Scary! You can read the names on those corks then that I've thoughtfully placed behind me. Each one of those is a bottle of wine that I've drunk over the years that you can see just above my head on the screen there. And in big screen definition, you can probably read some of the inscriptions. Do like a Portuguese cork. No plastic corks here, thank you very much. Not a single plastic cork up there. I was about to share something. Yes, I know. Let's do that. I need to tell you about Revolut's new status here in Portugal as well. So let's ask that question officially. And we have got the 50 plus maestro. It's telling us on the Portugal Club calendar there. 50 plus maestro, 50 plus fitness maestro, Coach Turner joining us, probably with a few tips that he's been gleaning to do with our personal and physical well-being as well. And I know other people like to chip in with those, so keep them coming. Anything you're doing to keep yourself fit and well. Glad to share that, especially when Coach Turner's joining us on this, the second or third Friday of the month? Third Friday of the month. He's here on that regular basis. Oh, and we've got a new regular joining us. I'll tell you about that after we've done the Portuguese citizenship test. 34. Only what does that mean? 66. Sorry, I'm confusing myself here. Only 66 more of these to go before we have completed your mock Portuguese citizenship test. Let me bring it onto the screen so you can see it as well here. And I'll come back to a few more of your comments. Love receiving your comments and chat in the chat, the bants in the chat there this morning. There we go. On the screen then, Portuguese citizenship test number 34, everybody. And Adrian would appear to be way ahead with this. And I think we might have a dual sort of spelling here going on as well. Which dynasty ruled Portugal? Well, I suppose, and other places as well, as it turned out, during the Age of Discovery. Was it the House of Avis, Avish, maybe known to the rest of the world? I guess it's like Lisboa and Lisbon, isn't it? Let's go with Avis for the time being, which is probably read as Avis all around the world, which makes you think of the car rental company, of course. Is that where they got their name from, I wonder? Being the Age of Discovery and all that. Was it B, Braganza? Was it C, Habsburg, the House of Habsburg? So which of those dynasties ruled Portugal during the Age of Discoveries? Avis, Braganza, or Habsburg? There, I am popping that live on the Portugal Club right now if you would like to take part in that. And I'll pop the link in the chat also, so you can also do that too. A bit of Revolut news then. I think this is good news. I've also got a link as well if you want to get a Revolut card if you haven't got one already. Somebody thanked me yesterday for putting them on to Revolut. Bond, yeah, and this was quite the coincidence, actually. Why is it all black in the background there? Where's my background gone? Let me put something
In Portugal.
No, not that. Let me put something more jolly on in the background. There you go. Our nice customary blue sky of Portugal, especially good on this Feel Good Friday morning. More of your comments then. Yeah, Adrian going for a FD Devane. I remember you. Soggy Wood, speak for yourself. Hello, Frank. Nice to see you here this morning. And where do we get to? Mel, good morning to you. Bondia listening while chopping wood on the land. Letting off a bit of steam, Mel. And always impossible to make appointments. That's it, Imer, isn't it? And Bondia Miguel, Owen Martin. Feel free to message each other in the chat, of course, as well. Morning to you, Bobby in Dubai. I always seem to get audio messages when I'm somewhere quiet and can't listen. Yes! I dislike voice messages on WhatsApp. I recorded one a little bit earlier if you've just arrived, which sums up to me the uselessness of them. If you're going to do it, don't record and publish a podcast. Be quick about it. Quite honestly, if I see that somebody's left me a 3-minute voice message, I avoid listening to it until I absolutely have to. Or you can apply the old rule, can't you? It'll blow over, or if it's that important, they'll get back in touch with me. And they do. Did you get my earlier 16-minute voice message? Well, I did, but do you know what? I had other things to do today as well. I suppose people are guessing that you're multitasking while you're doing that as well, which again is a bit of a problem. Maybe if you like to give your full attention to things. Matty's not a fan. I am this close to not listening to them at all. Well done, pushing back. Chris Bondiaturo and BFDS. What does that stand for? I don't know. Or is it a famous retailer of sofas in the UK? I have to pop out for a few minutes. Don't talk about me while I'm gone. Quick, everybody, talk about T-Duck. Friday's child is full of woe. Oh, no. So goes the ditto. But rejoice, if you will, and be joyful because Christ rose on the third day. Was it a Friday? Yes. Friday facts. I was born on a Friday exactly 20 years after the Hiroshima bomb. My goodness, no obvious connection, I hope. Their spelling hadn't been yet fully standardized at the time, as manuscripts make clear. What? Guilty as charged on voicemail. I like to receive them because I can listen while doing other things. Yeah, okay, so a multitasker and a defender of the WhatsApp voice message. Okay. And yes, come to think of it, Mel, I think I might have received And I might have made that joke with you. Thanks for the podcast. When they get over about 5 minutes long. And that's maybe what I'll do. I will publish anyone who sends me a voice message over about a minute. I'll publish it on YouTube as a short or or on my podcast platform. Right, there you go. You've had a chance to have a go at the Portuguese citizenship test question number 34 there. Oh, likely a difference in length and preference to use. Oh, matron between men and women. Some, as with regularly speech. Yes, it's true, isn't it? That's right. When men are sometimes listening to women chatting to each other, it's like, are they still talking? And I'm not sure if they've actually said anything yet. There's been a lot of noise. There's been a lot of sound and a lot of excitement and a bit touchy-feely. But I'm not sure there's any content yet. Blokes, how are you doing? Yep, fine, mate. Want a beer? Yep, great. Sit down, be quiet. That's it. Finished, done. That's a night out. Right there. Women, on the other hand, yes, so maybe that would account for the difference in preferences when it comes to WhatsApp audio messages. Hilarious stuff. Thank you very much, Mel, for your correspondence on this matter. Has anyone on that note, literally, like a notelet? When was the last time you sent a letter, an actual letter, wrote on a piece of paper in ink, and then folded it up? Licked an envelope, stuck a stamp on it. Maybe there aren't such things anymore. You have to go to a post office where you live. No, there are stamps. I don't think I've bought a stamp in Portugal in all these years. I have sent mail, but I don't remember buying a book of stamps. When did you last send a letter for real? And do you feel like sending one? Maybe we could start that up among us. Maybe we can have pen pals. See, I think some people who send voice messages on WhatsApp are missing the pen pal days, perhaps, when you could really commit yourself to communication. Right, very quickly then, before we talk to the coach Turner in Madeira, who's found the paradise of running tracks, I would say. I wanted to share with you the update on Revolut. I think we may have talked a little bit about this, or somebody's mentioned it. But now, look, with Revolut, which was always a good thing for back in the day when you came to Portugal, you could do your currency transfer within the app. You could load it up with your local money, change it into euros, and then use your Revolut card all around. I'm still here around Portugal, or anywhere in the world for that matter. This is a Lithuanian unicorn, isn't it? A very good idea. App-based banking, and now they have been not headquartered, but they've had a big branch and tech teams, I think, here in Matosinhos, here in Portugal. And I remember meeting somebody who was an early adopter of Revolut, and he was so prolific in his sharing of Revolut that the company employed him, and I met him as a Revolut employee. This is probably about 5 years ago, up there in Matosinhos. And now they've extended their offer. The Revolut bank account or bank app now extends in Portugal. They've been approved as a Portuguese bank properly, constitutionally, if you like. You can have a Portuguese IBAN with Revolut, so you get a truly local bank account. And also you can access, because this wasn't possible before, people would say, oh, MBWay sounds great, but I can't use it because I use a Revolut card or some other non-Portuguese bank card. You can do it now with your Revolut card. Simple mobile payments, instant transfers with MBWay, of course. I've got a little video on how to use that. And Revolut are in that. So IBANs and MBWay now with Revolut. Your app, account, and package type will stay the same. If you've already got a Revolut account, apparently, recurring payments will be made from your bank account using your Lithuanian IBAN there. So well done, Revolut, on that. And I think that's probably a pretty good challenge to the old dinosaur banks. And I would, if I may, like to share with you a link. If you want to get one, pleasure, Mike. Have a good one. If you want to get one, I've got a link you can use. And I think we all get 50 euros or something if all of this goes well. So if you've been waiting until now on this special day, you can remember the Friday that you applied for a Revolut card, which you can now have an IBAN on and use MBWay. I'm popping that into the chat now. Couple more comments before we talk to the coach. So there's the link for Revolut. And letters are lovely, aren't they, Pete? Pete's here now as well. Sent a letter to my pops last week. Oh, that's lovely. This is wonderful to hear, quite frankly. And the only acceptable excuse for a voice message on WhatsApp is while driving, since it's easier to talk than type while driving. But preferably none of the above, right? Keep your eyes on the road when I did post a letter, when did I post a letter last time? Last millennium, and not even in the last 2 decades of that millennium. Were they thank you notes after Christmas? And your mum made you do it, Matty, to Chicago. So mail from Portugal to Chicago. Does that work well with the postal services at both ends? You take a risk, don't you, when you send snail mail, physical mail? But how lovely, you're right, to receive something that you open and read, and you can see it's been committed to the paper by somebody's own hand. The House of Avis was followed by the Spanish dynasty from 1580 to 1640, followed by a 20-year war of independence. That's probably the standardization that you're talking about there, Adrian. Spanish held on to Ceuta in North Africa, which they can I have a phonetic pronunciation on that, please? Which they producer, which they still hold, but lost the rest of Portugal. Yes, bad deal. Letters are lovely. 3 students I still correspond with, and when you write on paper, you give so much more thought and the details that often are the true joy in life. How lovely, Peter. Our letters are, however, dependent on both the wonderful CTT office and somewhat less reliable and often inebriated postman. Gets her in the end. I thought Revolut was Irish. I know. Lithuanian. It took 4 months to receive a letter from Chicago recently, says Mike. The normal time is 7 to 28 days. What a joy. What a joy. And there is that joke about CTT, established in 1756? Some of those first letters are still doing the rounds. In the back of a horse and carriage in the Museum of Horse and Carriages in Lisbon. Let's give them a nice big round of applause. Hola, bon dia, tudo bem?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, mate?
Good. Yeah, having fun this morning, talking about WhatsApp voice messages. Have I ever done that to you? Do we do that?
I don't think so. Yeah, there's only 1 or 2 people I get voicemails from.
And are you happy to receive them, or would you rather not?
They're normally a pain because you then got to play with your phone to actually be able to. Because normally I have the sound turned down on my phone. Don't disturb people. So then you've got to turn it up. And then you're probably in a loud place anyway. So you got to stick it on your ear and you look like a complete top.
Yes.
So they are a bit of a pain, but sometimes necessary.
Yeah.
People find them easier to send when they're kind of busy, I guess.
And I wonder what the direction of travel is. Because typing is really not...
They haven't taken over, to be fair.
They haven't, or they have?
No, I don't think voicemails have taken over.
No.
What may well happen, of course, is voice translation is getting better and better and better with AI, and
yes.
So you talk to your phone and it types something for you.
Yeah.
They do that in the car now, don't they?
It's extraordinary. If you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you can find it on the combination of your phone,
you've got this great screen on your car, haven't you?
You have, yes.
And you're driving along, trying to concentrate at whatever miles an hour on a motorway or something.
Yes.
And you're tapping away. No, it's not right, is it?
It can wait, can't it?
It can always wait.
Sometimes, cars are getting quite I don't know, bossy, aren't they, as well? So it's keeping on the one hand, it's keeping you on the lines in the road and driving the car for you. The sort of thing us older drivers don't really like. But that's because you started to veer off, trying to crack the code on the dashboard of connecting.
Trying to put your PIN number in or something.
That's right. And then you get another bollocking from Android Auto saying, "This is not possible." Whilst you're driving, please stop the car and do this in a safe place. Yeah. Well, the medium is the message, of course, isn't it? And all of this mirrors the technology that's available, and we're being dictated to in a way by the technologists and the platforms. Why we send messages at all is an interesting thing, and how we send them then is a secondary question. And I think you're right. We might prefer to stick to text, hieroglyphics of one kind or another, and emojis, and the bit that's holding us back, that seems to be still the Neanderthal with sausagey thumbs, is the problem, isn't it? That seems really old-fashioned. The fact that we're, what is it? You've got to get your glasses on, and you've got the phone.
Yeah. No.
that's really old-fashioned in a way, isn't it? To do something very hyper-modern, which is to send a message from me to you and Madeira, just to say, oh, here's the link for the show. Those two things aren't really keeping up with each other, but maybe the AI piece here is the bit that you'll just press a button and say, send a message to Ian. This is the link for the show this morning. Boom and done. That would be the ideal world, I think, wouldn't it?
Well, except you were talking at the time.
Yeah, that's
on
true.
the show. So how did you? So you couldn't. No.
It was my team. It was my team.
The team sent it. Your man.
Yes. You've got mail yourself on the screen here. Good morning to you from Mike and from T.
Morning, Mike. Morning, T. Duck.
Morning, Coach.
Hope you're well.
Did you ever expect to be called the coach on a live stream?
Never.
Okay. Right.
Strangely, the only time I've asked to be called coach, there was a lovely young man at the track, and he kept calling me boss.
Yeah.
And I said, for a young black man to call me boss, I felt very uncomfortable about that. I said, look, you either call me Ian or you call me coach.
Right.
You never ever do that again. And he was quite taken aback. He thought, he hadn't thought about it. So.
Yes, but you clearly had, and coach.
Yeah. Well, it just felt wrong.
Yes.
Completely wrong.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so us and him refer to you, coach.
Or you will do.
Yeah.
Don't mind that.
Now, last time I saw you, you spent a few days in San Martino de Porto. I think
we had a fabulous time. I mean, I love the place.
Yeah.
Leslie loves the place, but finds it a bit damp. So we've got to overcome that barrier somehow.
I can't deny it. It's like you're going to Africa and finding it a bit hot. We are soggy here. Soggy at certain times.
Today, you might not be able to see, but it's a bit soggy out there too. We've got rain this morning, but sun this afternoon, as happens quite often in this place.
Yeah, out there is Madeira, of course, we should mention. And that's not your first rodeo in Madeira either, is it?
No, it's our joint fourth trip. It's my fifth.
Is it? Right.
So we've been here quite a lot and love it, and are organising some more, because we've got this points deal with Pestana, the hotel group. Of course, they're doing the big sale to try and get us to buy some more. So we're going to buy some more because it just works for us.
Yes.
So we spend a week or two a year here.
Great.
It's very relaxing. I mean, it's an easy holiday. Not physically, because we've been gymming every morning, then a swim, and then we go out for a walk. So by about 2:00 in the afternoon, I'm laid horizontally on my bed asleep.
On one of the best beds that Portugal has to offer.
Yeah, exactly that. So, but it's we've really got into the routine of half an hour in the gym, half an hour in the pool, or the sea, because the sea is about the same temperature as the pool.
Is it really?
You can get because from this particular hotel, you can got steps down into the sea.
Oh, lovely!
And you just go swim around for a few minutes and watch the fish, and that is just it's brilliant. There's these wonderful little blackfish. I can't remember what their name is, but they've got this blue neon strip down their back.
Really?
When the sun's out, it just catches it, and it looks like they're literally lit up.
Oh, fantastic!
Fabulous little fish.
Yeah, how wonderful.
Lots of other stuff as well. So yeah, that's a pleasure. And then we've been doing a lot of walking as well, as we normally do when we're away, as we did indeed in San Martino.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Here it's a little more difficult because the hills are steeper and longer.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're having an all-round great time, and supported by the great hospitality of Pestana. We're not sponsored yet by them, but this could be a help.
That would be a good start.
It would, wouldn't it? Your seshta in the afternoon, also supported and sponsored by Pestana.
Indeed.
And the reason, I think you've saved it a few of these, haven't you? They're connected with the Posada. I was going to call it a movement, but the Posada concept here.
From what I understand, they did a 50-50 deal with the government who built these or developed the original Posadas, spent all the money, but like most governments, they can't run anything. So, so they did a deal with someone who could run it, and we, when we did our road trip last year, we stayed in about 7 or 8 of them, I think.
Did you?
The magnificent. They're magnificent buildings. The one you're showing just then was the one in Serra da Estrela where you and Colin came.
Is that the actual one that we came to? That was great.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big old sanatorium, isn't it?
It is.
They've converted into a hotel, and it's fabulous.
So a lot of these would have been from the dictatorship times as well, then, and would have had a very different feel to them. And maybe high-ranking government officials would have been filling these places back in the day.
I guess so.
And of course they're in partnership with Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7.
CR7, they're sort of allegedly lifestyle hotels. What that means, I have no idea. I mean, there's one down in on the front here. And indeed a CR7 museum. He's still playing, for God's sake.
He is, and he scored 2 goals the other night for Portugal in the World Cup qualifier. We've actually got a picture of that because I was updating our Cristiano Ronaldo listing in the who's who part of the Portugal club. If I type CR7 in, I should just be able to go straight to that. But thanks to Henry for sending us this picture. He went to that match and was able to get up close and personal, pretty close by the look of it from this picture I'm about to share with you. But I wanted to ask you about this. Yeah, in our Who's Who session, Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, as you mentioning there, was born in Funchal, Madeira. That's a picture taken by Henry the other night playing against Hungary. And he scored a couple of goals. He's just doing amazingly well, isn't he? He's not a spring chicken anymore.
For a 40-year-old.
40 years of age. So he's a great example of what we're trying to talk about and do with you, which is to remain fit and healthy into our older age. He absolutely exemplifies that. They also, Pastana CR7, are taking the sports bar, and by the way, Colin, sports bar, not sports bra. Good morning to you, Colin.
Yeah, morning, Colin.
They are taking, and I made mention of this, maybe on the show, but certainly elsewhere, about this idea of the sports bar having goat burgers and cocktails. Now, this goes back to the conversation we just had. The sports bar should be where a couple of fellas, maybe more, will go in. We'll have that conversation, won't we? Like, how you doing? Yeah, I'm all right. Do you want a beer? Thank you. And that is basically the night out. And then you just watch a game on the TV. Do you really think the goat burgers, the high-end cuisine, the cocktails are going to work in a sports bar? We don't want all of that extra stuff, do we?
Well, certainly burgers, but perhaps not goat burgers.
I don't know.
One.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's greatest of all time rather than literally Cabra.
Oh, I see.
I hope
it'll be just a burger.
It'll be just a burger, but it'll be rebranded and have added value. And we know what that means. It's not.
And probably CR7 branded on the top of the bun.
Yes, for an extra €10. Obviously, yes.
See, they ought to come to us for the ideas.
Yeah, right. That is actually how.
Maybe not.
Now, this sports track you found there, you're in paradise in Madeira. I don't think it's unfair to refer to it as that. You're talking about these shiny fish and swimming in the warm sea and the beautiful landscapes.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself an amazing sports track. And I was looking at this video that you sent, and I was thinking, this is a James Bond athletics track. It's like, which is the one where he's in the volcano? It reminded me of that.
Yeah, I can't remember which one. Is that the Japanese one?
Is that with Saramanga?
Saramanga.
Right. Here it is. Before we re-celebrate the victory of your friend in 100 meters, this is the racetrack. Just to avoid any confusion, that's not your usual Essex track, is it?
No. No, we're not in Essex. We're in North London. But
North London. It's not your North London track there where you train people, is it? It's a little...
not that many mountains in
North
our part of the world.
That is absolutely beautiful.
It's stunning. It's in Ribeira Grande, which is about 15 kilometers from where we are in Funchal. So absolutely stunning. And the reason I was out here at this particular time is the European Masters Championships are on. And I keep having to, whenever I'm talking to an American, say, European Masters Athletics Championships. Well, what's that?
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's track and field.
Track and field, of course.
Athletics could be any sport, apparently. So we have to translate. Have to translate for our friends over the pond. So.
And Masters they get though, right? Masters is what, 60 plus or 50 plus?
No, it's 35 plus.
No way.
Yeah. Goes up 5 years for each age group. So that goes from 35 to 90.
Does it
and we
really?
had some 90-year-olds running the 100 meters on when was it? Sunday, I think.
And they're still running, are they?
Still running, yeah. Not
I mean now.
I mean, a little slower than.
No, I should.
Perhaps they did.
Yeah,
we shouldn't take the mick because
you're right.
They're doing it.
No, I feel a bit bad about that, but
it happens. But it's amazing.
They're getting the last.
The 90-year-olds are beginning to get a bit slow, but there's an 80-year-old German that can run the 200 meters as quickly as I can.
Seriously?
Or in fact, as quickly as I have for several years. So.
And after the first time you discover that, you don't race him anymore.
You don't race. You kind of. It's sort of one of the reasons I really don't do competitions much anymore. you just, it just doesn't do any good for your self-worth.
It's not good for your self-esteem, is it? Have an 80-year-old whistling past you.
Exactly that. I mean, he's doing it in just over 30 seconds for 200 meters.
No way.
Yeah, 30.4, I think is. He clocked in the.
That's cool.
The heats. Just amazing. 80 years old.
That's amazing.
So he is an exception. He's a good 4 or 5 seconds quicker than anybody else.
But a good role model. Model.
Oh yeah, totally. It can be done. As I've said, I think before, the people that are at the real top of this game, that's all they do. They really don't do much else. There are exceptions to that rule.
As in
one being Steve Peters of Chimp Paradox fame, who is out here and has won. He won the 100 meters in his age category, which is I think 75.
Is he one of those
70
super fit, old school athletics and sports champions who he's having a smoke and a pint? So, can you hold this? My race is just coming up.
No, he takes it a little more seriously than that. But,
okay.
But he obviously takes his own medicine.
Yeah.
But he's been at the top of the Masters tree for a very long while.
You did mention.
So I think he didn't take up running or athletics or track and field until he was in his 40s, I think.
Right.
So he'd never been a top athlete as a youngster.
That's a good question for you. I will come back to that after we've watched your friend here a race to victory, literally. Because let's talk about taking up a new sport in older age.
This is my friend Christine, who is in the W55 category, so that's 55 and over. Right. I think she just got into that category probably, but she's a piece of work, that one.
Christine, now let's relive this victorious moment at the Madeira Athletics. Nicely done, Christine. Congratulations. Yeah, amazing. And people are watching drinking beer. It's very Portuguese, I see.
It's very Portuguese. There's a little beer stall just up the road. We were sat there. We had and a bunch of Irish people next to us. So you can imagine. I reckon.
Great fun. Great.
Yeah, they were certainly sponsored by Coral, as in Coral the beer, not Coral the betting agents.
Could be both. Could be both.
Could be both. Quite
Coral
possibly.
being Madeira and beer over there. Have you got a few more minutes to go into this then about taking?
Yeah, can do. Yeah.
You know, we obviously have the God Squad program, Growing Old Disgracefully. Your strength, speed, and stamina, the pillars that you've built that on, helping people to stay fit and well into older age. Gentle fitness for bon viveurs, another way of looking at it. And a lot of that might be just being a bit more mindful about how you're living, exerting yourself occasionally to build a bit of strength, going a bit longer, getting off the bus before you stop, parking up early and walking. Yeah. What about another level though of taking on a new sport to you in older age, especially for those people like me? I didn't really do much sport at school, but I quite like it now. I was playing football with the kids the other night and I had a fantastic time. And it's like I was thinking, I missed out on this when I was younger. What are there people? You're probably aware more than me of people taking up sports in older age, and I guess that's got to be quite a good thing to do if you go steady at it.
Yeah, you got. Go steady at it.
Yes.
Start slowly. I think is in any of these physical sports, as opposed to pastimes like snooker and darts. They're not sports.
Right. Not sports.
Well, no, they are part. I mean, they take a great deal of skill. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I admire the likes of Ronnie O'Sullivan, who incidentally is a great cross-country runner.
Is he really?
Yeah. I think he still runs for one of the Essex teams. Yeah. He's always done it. I think it's an escape for him.
Yes,
and indeed he was coached for a long while by Steve Peters.
I never
dropped that name
physically and mentally.
His demons.
Wow.
He ever did the physical stuff, but he'll overcome his the chimp on his shoulder that Ronnie certainly has. Yeah. Anyway, that's a side issue. But I think certainly the people have taken up what I do late in life. I mean, I didn't really start sprinting until I was in my mid-30s, because I gave up playing rugby because I was getting hurt and takes too long. So I didn't start running till then, and that was distance running mostly, and it was really sprinting probably mid to late 40s I started. So I suppose I'm one of those, but there's people that have come into it in their 60s or 70s. Particularly when people retire and they want to have put something else in place to replace work, and it will be activities of all sorts, won't it? It may be volunteering, or it may be crochet, or doing something more physical to keep you healthy.
Extreme
crochet. And in fact, Aviva, who we had a bite of lunch with a couple of days ago.
Excellent.
Said something interesting. She said, as we get older, we try to cram more in because we're much more aware that we've got finite time ahead of us.
Yes.
So it's true. People find other sports, whether that's football or walking football is quite popular.
It is.
Paddle, pickleball, all of these things. It becomes more difficult to play games, I guess. Even there's veterans rugby, which I'd probably stay clear of. But you probably struggle doing that if you haven't done it before.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing, of course, with taking up a sport as a foreigner, as an expat, as an immigrant, is it's a little bit easier to make friends and bond with people if you've got a focus than the somewhat more awkward meetup situation. Where you, like eating and sitting at a table is a little bit different. It's okay for some people. Some people really love that, but the shyer people, and also avoiding awkward conversations and stuff like that is easier done if there's a focus, like paddleball or walking football, and you can just get on with the thing you've come to do, right? Rather than to make small.
Yeah. Well, it happened with me when I went. Was it 2 weeks ago? to the rugby at Caldash.
Yeah, right.
And within about half an hour, I'd met the lady that seems to organise everything.
Yeah.
One of the coaches, and next time I'm out with you, hopefully we're aiming for 6 weeks. I'll go and do some coaching.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So and that happened certainly within an hour. I had all that set in stone almost. So that focus does give you stuff to talk about. You have common interests, whether it's whatever it is,
and it's
rather
what
than just some random sitting down moaning about the tax situation and
politics and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's like the focus is on what do we do rather than what do you do. It's like, oh God, here we go again. Yeah, very good, excellent. So there's a lot to be said for taking up a sport in older age. Wanted to just give a quick shout out to Steve Peters, who you mentioned. Amazing fella. I mean, in terms of giving something to people's minds and bodies, then by the sound of it, the chimp paradox. You'd recommend that, would you? That idea?
Well, I found it fascinating because I don't know anything about psychology, but he lays it out in a very simple way.
Very good.
That pretty much anybody can understand. So that I haven't read any of his other books because I thought, well,
the franchise looks good though.
The franchise looks good. Yeah, he's a very bright cookie.
All right.
As well as being a good athlete.
Well, I imagine you've got a busy day ahead of you. Thanks for fitting us in. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your time in
Madeira. Off to the gym.
Are you? Of course you are. I'd love to.
Very light session today because my legs are killing me.
Really. No, I felt it after my little football outburst the other day. But the more you do it as well, of course, the easier it's going to be, right?
Start gently, build it up, and make it a habit.
Yes.
Back to what we were talking about last month. Build it up as a habit, and it's much easier having a habit when you're away on holiday than it is actually at home when there's all sorts of other rubbish going on.
And find something you enjoy because that'll be easier to build a habit on as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Nice one, mate. Okay, all the best to you. Take care.
We'll see you very soon.
All right, ciao.
Ciao.
There he goes, the coach in lovely Madeira, Portuguese paradise of Madeira. And some lovely comments to close with today as well. Talking of WhatsApp messages, telephone calls as well, actually. Pete, I'm similar with this, actually, I've got to say. Even though I like talking, as you've probably gathered, I hate speaking on the phone, as anyone who has tried to contact me already knows. What you just don't answer. My Tesla has highway autopilot, so I don't need my hands to drive, and I have them free. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Yes, that's a way of dealing with it, isn't it? Is so let the car do the driving, and then you can send your messages. The letter that was sent by Mike that I think got delayed here. Right. Funny part was the envelope that was received 4 months later was delivered in pristine condition. It had been hanging about somewhere, hadn't it? I think it's sort of stuck behind someone else's letter, or maybe still in the first post office you took it to. You can't do nuance via text. This is very true, Mel. And like I say, there's always something positive and negative about everything, isn't there, pretty much? Did a voice message to Son yesterday to discuss options and considerations, re-citizenship, text too long. Absolutely, yeah. None of these things we can dispatch completely based on our personal prejudices and preferences. But an interesting conversation for sure, nonetheless. Nice to see you, Rugby Colin, this morning. Yes, the sports bra joke continues. I've had a lot of value to sharing that with people. Your bit of banter there, Colin. And we might even have a sports bra sponsor for the show, as it turns out, quite by accident. But that's shaping up nicely. Pardon the pun. Behind the scenes. Oh, no, I'm not joking. We might have a sports bra sponsor for the show, which is a bit random, but there you go. You'd be better off getting your gates from Spain. I'm not up to speed with this particular conversation, but it sounds like Matty's getting some gates. My parents often stay in the Posadas around Portugal when they go touring. I would stay there just to make, there are sort of couples humor, isn't there? You make jokes. You have jokes that wouldn't be funny to anybody else, but they are between you and your beloved, perhaps. I would stay in a Posada just so that I could use the ensuite and come out and say to Mrs. M, I have just put the poo in Posada. And only she and I, in fact, only I would find that funny. She probably wouldn't find that funny. And I don't suppose you find that funny either. And I'm sorry I even shared that with you. So the parents often stay in posadas around Portugal when they go touring. 83-year-old dad still drives to Portugal from UK. Yes! Once a year, and they fly another 2 times a year. That's fantastic, Mike. Have a great day today. Smash the like button. And Carl McAdam's in town, everybody. Bon dia. It's a lovely morning here in San Martino. It looked a bit foggy this morning to me. Maybe it's clearing up on the beach down there. Excellent stuff. What else have we got here? I think that mainly Matty and Pete's discussion about Gates and going to Spain by the look of it. Feel free, fellas. Adrian, Portugal's 4 royal dynasties were Burgundy, 1139 to 1383. Avige from 1385 to 1580. Habsburgs from, that's another burger. You could have the Habsburger, a dynasty burger, couldn't you, in Pestana as well? 1581 to 1640, aka the Philippine dynasty. Braganza from 1640 to 1910. Hence, some 1588 Spanish Armada sailed from Portugal. Very good, Adrian. Thank you for being our resident historian. Antonio F., our resident Vizinho Portuguese. Thank you, Antonio, for everything you do for us. And thank you for being here this morning. Take up pickleball. Says Colin here. It's a good sport as you get older and very social as well, as Colin demonstrates. At least he does it 2 or 3 times a week. There's a pickleball bumper sticker for you. Pickleball players do it 2 or 3 times a week. And I think you do, don't you, Colin? When you're not building a house. We are signing up to try paddle later this month. Well done. Chop wood, yes, and carry water as well. Nice one. Yeah, a good. Get a homestead. That'll keep you fit. I plan to walk past the gym later today. Cycling is great fun. Yes, most of the members of our Aveiro Club are older as well. And we should get rain. A weather forecast from Antonio. Hit that like button. And rain should arrive by Sunday. A little bit of a weather forecast from the neighbour as well there. And Adrian, most local football clubs, Eirish in Coimbra, outskirts, about 40-minute walk, has advertised walking football for over 50s on local village notice boards. Not yet, but lift some Ruas Dicionarios. Okay, so dictionary lifting. I'm not aware of that as official Olympic sport yet, but who knows what might happen in these crazy times we live in. Did Carl share the official government link for the election results, as Sapo is not an official site, which you did recommend? That's all over at, I believe, at the Portugal Club in our little thread there about local election reporting. And I will put up that quote, and I'll finish today by reminding you what Nunu said when I asked him who won the election, or what he thought was funny about the local elections is that every party claimed to have won them in a brilliantly cynical Portuguese way. When I realised I was getting far too excited about Portuguese politics, if you're going to be Portuguese about it, you need a little bit of cynicism mixed with a little bit of indifference. and a willingness to go along and eat bifanas, drink crab soup, and have a great time whilst campaigning. Well, that's what it looked like where I live as well. Have a great weekend. A bon fin semana. To you, dear friends. Matty, I will make sure that that's over there in that election coverage over at the Portugal Club. So it's there, and so that Antonio F can see it. That's the very least I could do with all that you do for us, Antonio F. Bon fin semana to you, my friend, mi amigo. And we'll see you again on Monday. Yes, the Good Morning Portugal show, weekdays from 8 till 9, every weekday. Glad to be here talking about life in Portugal and loving our lives here in Portugal. Take care and bye for now. Big round of applause to you. We'll see you.
In Portugal, there's a you